be like Castiel and have someone put all of the knowledge into
our
brain
boxes. Oh, Castiel.
Oh, Castiel.
Hey, this is Megan.
And Sue in the restricted section.
Today we're going to be doing the New York Times by the book tag.
And we were tagged twice.
2 times.
For this tag. Once by Erica from The Perks of Books and by Jen.
At Read Jen Read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you, both of you, for tagging us, and we'll link both of their videos below if you'd like to check that out. Today we're drinking this peach wheat beer from O'Fallon called Wheach.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. It tastes almost like a real peach.
It really does. We didn't have high hopes for this.
We didn't.
We thought for certain this would be horrible.
Yeah.
I really like this.
Yeah.
This is delightful.
The first question in the tag is, what book is on your nightstand now?
I said A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, because that is the book I'm currently reading. I don't actually have any books on my nightstand because I typically don't read in bed, because as soon as I get in bed, I pass the fuck out. So, but that's the book I'm actively reading. I don't have a copy of it because I'm reading it on my Kindle.
I don't have a nightstand, so I don't have any books on my nightstand either, but I'm currently reading Watership Down by Richard Adams. I'm about halfway through it now. It's kind of been a little bit of slow going, not because it's bad, it's just, I don't know, it's been slow for me.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping to finish it pretty soon.
The next question is, what was the last truly great book that you read?
And for me, I chose The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer.
It was a great book.
I fucking love this book. I will say that it's possible I connected with this book a little bit more than some people would.
That's fair.
Because the subject matter was kind of close to me in more than one way.
Fair.
But I just thought it was so well written and just so good.
It's a great book.
I sobbed off and on for the last half of the book.
It's so good.
It was really good.
If you haven't read this book, read this book. It's so good.
I really, really loved it.
I chose We by Evgeny Zamyatin. There we are. Because I've talked about this book before. I did a review on it, so I won't talk about it too much. But this book actually made me question what my favorite book is. So I had to count this one as, because 1984 has been my favorite book for probably like a decade.
Yeah.
And so this one actually made me question that. So let me go with this one.
The next question is, if you could meet any writer, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you want to know?
That's a toughie. I kind of took the easy way out and I said J.K. Rowling.
I'm surprised you didn't say George Orwell.
Him too, but I feel like I really like not only that J.K. Rowling wrote Lord
of the Rings.
That's a different person. I like not only did she write Harry Potter, but she has like some magnificent sass on Twitter.
She does.
I love her sass, and I want to talk to her. Like, I want to have coffee with her.
I really don't know who I would say. I don't really like meeting famous people.
It's awkward.
I mean, I really haven't met any famous people, but I just don't want that illusion shattered that I have of them in my head.
What if they're an asshole?
Yeah, what if they're a dick?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I've answered this question before with Steve Martin. Even though he's not most well known as an author, he did write one of my favorite books.
It's true.
And I just love him so much. Like, he's such a well-rounded individual.
He's a very well-rounded
He has so many talents and he excels at all of them. And I just want to be like, how do you do it, Steve Martin? How are you so fantastic? Also, will you marry me?
Share your secrets with us.
I know you're already married.
Steve Martin.
Will you marry me?
Please call us and share your secrets of life with us. And maybe let's go have a beer. The next question is, what books might we be surprised to find on your shelves?
Again, for this one, I don't really feel like it'd be surprising to find anything on my shelf.
No,
because
you're super eclectic.
I read anything. I like all kinds of things. So I chose this, which is Conan and the Spider God. But I don't think this really counts because this is my boyfriend's book. But it is on my shelf.
Right.
It has several Conan books on my shelf. I have seen the first original Conan
With Arnold?
movie with Arnold, and I thought it was ridiculous. So sorry about it. But
my boyfriend also loves Conan, and so I've seen that one and then the newest incarnation of Conan.
Jeremiah refused to watch the new one.
We had to watch it.
He loved the old ones so much that he was like, I ain't watching that shit.
That sounds exactly him.
Why do I make my boyfriend sound like an old redneck?
Because he's a cranky old man.
He is a cranky old man.
Yeah. So for this one, I chose a couple things. I have 2 books about the Detroit Red Wings, which I don't like sports, but I really love hockey. And I'm from Michigan, so the Red Wings are my team. I was born a Wings fan, and I will die a Wings fan. So I have 100 things Red Wings fans should know and do before they die. And then I also have the Red Wings, Brian McFarlane's original 6. So I've got those 2. And then I also have these 2 Calvin and Hobbes books. I have Attack of the Deranged Mutant Killer Monster Snow Goons. And then I also have Revenge of the Babysat. I love Calvin and Hobbes. I'm not sorry. I'm not embarrassed. I just love them.
The next question is, how do you organize your personal library?
I don't. I have one bookshelf, and it is like a short little 3-shelfer. So I have it full, and then I have books shoved in on top of the books that are in there, and then I have stacks of books in front of the books that are in there, and then I have books. My coffee table is like the top, and then there's 2 shelves beneath it, books. So it's not organized.
Yeah, I also don't organize my books. I have a very large bookshelf and then one smaller one. Both are full. After that big library sale that we went to, now they're overflowing a bit. I do have series together, but I don't have that many series, so that's not a big deal. I used to have authors together, and I still sort of do, but they've kind of gotten out of place because every time I film a video where I pull a bunch of books out, I don't put them back where I found them. I just shove them in whatever space they'll fit. So a lot of the authors have gotten split up now too, so there's really no order. If I had lots of books, I would probably put them in some sort of order, but
Right.
I don't feel like I have enough for it to matter yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
Just wait for another library sale.
Yeah, we're fucked.
All right. So what book have you, this is a 2-part question. What book have you always meant to read and haven't gotten around to yet? And then the second part is there anything you feel embarrassed never to have read?
For the book that I've always meant to read, I chose Lawrence of Arabia by Robert Payne. I have had this book for years and years. I had to have been maybe 19 when I bought this, and I'm not 19 anymore.
No.
That's for damn sure. And this
That's
copy
for damn
must be real old because it says on the front, see the brilliant new film epic, Lawrence of Arabia.
That copy's been around for a minute.
That ain't new.
I said The Lost City of Z by David Grann. I started this book and I really liked it. I thought it was super interesting. I just never finished it. But yeah, it's about this guy who's on a quest for the Lost City of Z in the Amazon, and so he goes exploring for it and disappears. And everyone who went looking for him disappeared. And so what I read of it, I really enjoyed. I just never did finish it.
Second part of the question, anything you feel embarrassed never to have read? I don't know. I try not to feel too embarrassed about things because there's so many books.
Yeah.
That it's impossible to read everything, but I feel, I guess, slightly embarrassed that there's some classics that I feel like most people have read, like The Great Gatsby. I've never read The Great Gatsby. I never had to read that in school.
Yeah.
Also, this is another one that's been sitting on my shelf forever, but The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, another one that I never read.
I don't really have any books that I'm embarrassed to not have read. Again, I don't read for anyone else. I read for myself, so I don't feel bad or embarrassed about the things I haven't read. There are always things I would like to read.
Right. But you can't read everything, unfortunately. Yeah. Disappointing, overrated, just not good. What book did you feel you were supposed to like but didn't? Do you remember the last book you put down without finishing?
Unpopular opinion time. A book that I felt like was overrated, and a book I didn't dislike it, I just felt like it was overhyped, was Fight Club. Yeah, I didn't dislike it, but I don't think it lives up to the hype. The writing was really repetitive and circular. I do not understand everyone's obsession with Tyler Durden. He's a fucking psychopath, and he doesn't give a shit who he hurts, and that's not how I want to live my life, and I don't understand people who want to live theirs that way. So, I mean, I liked it, but it was not all it was cracked up to be.
Unpopular opinion for me as well.
Part 2, yeah.
In the Woods by Tana French. This book just did not do it for me, and I think I'm the only person that I've ever heard say a bad thing about this book. The main story, it's a like murder mystery, and the main mystery I wasn't super interested in, and the conclusion I felt was a bit of a cop-out. Who the person that ended up being the killer was. And there was like this side mystery of like one of the main characters, something happened to him when he was a child, and that I found much more intriguing. But that apparently is never resolved.
Oh.
Like, it's not resolved in this book. There are more books following these like same detective, Dublin's police squad, I think it is, or something. But from what I've heard from other people, they never come back to that. Like, it never gets resolved.
Oh.
So I'm just like, what the fuck? I don't...
What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. I think murder mysteries in general just aren't my thing, really.
Yeah.
I used to read them a lot when I was in high school, but I think it was because I kind of didn't realize that other books existed. Like, I just read, like, mysteries and romance novels because that's what my mom read, so I thought that's what adults read. So I read those. And then I discovered other things, and I was like, I like all of this much better.
So do you remember the last book that you put down without finishing?
Probably the last book I voluntarily put down, because as I've talked about in another video, I did misplace Dracula while I was reading it.
Fuck this book.
So I didn't really voluntarily stop reading that, but I did a long time ago. It's been a very long time. But I started this book, Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill, and I just wasn't feeling it. I couldn't get into it. I got a good at least third of the way into it. I read a fair bit, and it wasn't, I don't know, I didn't give a shit about it. And I don't know, I kind of felt like, I know a lot of people will DNF books and think nothing of it. I just can't, I don't have it in me to really do that. Like, I just always feel like, what if it gets better?
Yeah.
What if it gets better?
Right.
And so I still have had in my brain, like, I'll pick that back up and read it sometime. But I have so many other books that I want to read, so that probably won't happen anytime soon. But yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say really great things about this book, but it was like a ghost story, and I think I'm just not into ghosts.
That's fair.
I don't believe in them, but I mean, I read about vampires, I don't believe in them either, but I don't know, ghosts just aren't scary to me. I don't.
Mine was Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I mentioned this in like one of our most recent videos. There are two different perspectives in this book, and one of them I could give a shit about. Like, I just don't care. It's about like a hyper-intelligent race of spiders on this planet, and I don't give a fuck about these spiders. And then the other perspective is from Earth has been lost like centuries ago, and this spaceship like cryogenically froze a bunch of people basically, and it's like, I want to say it's something like 200 or 2,000 years later or something. It's a long fucking time, and they wake up. And so that perspective is really cool, and I'm super interested in that. I don't give a goddamn about these spiders. I don't care. I don't want to read about them. So I put it down. I would like to finish it eventually, but have not. What stories are you drawn to, and are there any that you steer clear of?
I don't know. I'm drawn to just good ones. I don't know. Anything to do with, aliens. I like aliens. I like
Which is interesting because
because
aliens scare the shit out of you.
aliens
Yeah.
kind of terrify me. But that's probably why I like them. I'm drawn to them. But I don't know. That's a hard question to answer,
Yeah,
especially because I do have like
Very
extremely eclectic taste. So just really anything that sounds good.
Anything that's interesting.
Yeah, anything. And like I said before, I'm not super drawn to like mysteries. Anything that's just straight up romance. I don't mind a romance being involved, but if that's that's the plot, then meh.
Yeah. What stories are you drawn to? Dystopian, sci-fi, horror. I like, kind of like you with aliens, I like zombie novels. Zombies scare the ever-living fuck out of me. And because that's my worst way to die scenario is being eaten alive. Not just by zombies, but by anything. And so, like, zombie novels really bring that home.
Yeah.
You know? Scares the fuck out of me, but I can't stay away.
Yeah.
You know, I love The Walking Dead. I read zombie books. It's whatever. Books that you steer clear of, or stories you steer clear of. Romance, mystery, westerns. I like none of those things.
I can enjoy a good western now and then. I used to read Louis L'Amour like crazy when I was a kid.
Oh God, my best friend Bree, her dad used to read Louis L'Amour all the time.
Yeah, I read a ton of Louis L'Amour. I have one book, Louis L'Amour book on my shelf. Yeah, I used to watch westerns with my dad, so they kind of hold a special place.
Sentimental.
He's a big Clint Eastwood fan.
But then it's fine from what I've heard about your dad.
If you could require the president to read one book, what would it be?
I said I'm not sure because I don't know him
Yeah.
personally. Like, I don't know anything about him personally. I know his public image and I know that he's the president, but I don't know. And I've never been president, so I don't know what all that job entails. I don't feel like I'm really qualified to be telling him he needs to read anything.
Yeah. I feel the same way, really.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I would maybe say In Order to Live by
It's a good one.
Yeonmi Park, I think is her name.
Yeah.
I don't have my copy with me, but yeah, I mean, I think that's just a really important, relevant book for now. But I feel like the president probably knows what goes on in North Korea.
I would assume.
I think that he knows.
I think it would be
I
interesting.
think it's an important book because I think the general public, most of us, don't really realize what happens. Like what it's like to live in North Korea and how difficult it is to get out.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting to find out what his favorite books are. And to, I think that would help to get to know him as a person. The next question is, what do you plan to read next?
I'm probably, after I finish Watership Down, I'll probably pick up Song of the Forest by Colin McKay. I also forgot to bring my copy of it with me, but yeah, that book has just been calling to me. I don't know why. I kind of read a little bit more about it, and it became even more intriguing to me because it's set in like the Dark Ages in Scotland in like a remote village, and they like build some sort of creature to protect their village. Like I didn't realize that it had some like weird,
that's pretty cool,
fantastical elements to it.
Yeah.
And someone in one of the reviews in Goodreads described it as like a golem, but for Scottish people,
which sounds fucking awesome.
So it just sounds really cool and really intriguing. So I think I'm gonna pick that one up next.
All right. So for this one, I chose Day of the Oprechnik by Vladimir Sorokin, translated by Jamie Gambrell. I had seen this book on Book Outlet and kind of glossed over it, thought it sounded kind of interesting, but wasn't sure if I wanted to like actually buy it. And then I had a conversation with Knowledge Lost on my review of Wheach. And we started talking about Soviet dystopian novels, and he had mentioned this one is kind of a really weird and wonderful piece of Soviet science fiction, kind of. And so that's kind of what pushed me into buying it, was that conversation. And then Rebel Reads had asked me once I read this if I would do a review about it. So I thought, okay. It sounds really cool, so I'm excited about it. The cover looks just really badass. I mean, that's like a bear with like a watch and like a knife strapped to him.
That does look cool.
Like, this bear is metal as fuck.
Yeah.
Look at this bear. He's metal as fuck.
He means business.
Sure does. I also said One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey because we've been talking about this book for a while and I would like to read it. So
Yeah. We kind of forgot to discuss who to tag.
Yeah.
So let's just think of a few off the top of our heads. We don't know who's done it or not, so if you've already done it and we say you, then
Don't worry about it.
yeah, don't worry about it.
All right.
Should we tag maybe the Drunken Library?
For
I
sure.
don't think they've done this.
Our YouTube sisters.
Perhaps Ben Sanders?
Yes. Yes,
Ben
we love us
Sanders?
some
Would
Ben
you like
Sanders.
to do this tag?
Yeah.
Anyone else? I don't know. If you haven't done this tag,
Do it.
do it. It's a cool tag.
Yeah. We'd like to see it. It was a fun
It's a fun tag
too.
to watch.
Yeah.
So, and this beer, Wheach.
Wheach.
Wheach. Peach wheat beer. This was surprisingly delicious. We
It
had
was.
low expectations
We
for this.
did.
We thought peach wheat.
Surely not.
Yeah, but it's pretty
delicious.
tasty.
Yeah,
And
for
if
sure.
you like peaches, check it out
Yeah,
because
it's
it
good.
tastes just like peaches. So,
Give it a shot.
as usual, we'll have information below where you can find us elsewhere on the internet.
Yes, and thank you guys for watching. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you guys for subscribing.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.